What's up, LEGO fans? Here again with Loki Lego, and today we'll be looking at the LEGO Star Wars Summer 2020 releases. We're starting today with set 75279, that's the Star Wars Advent Calendar, which I have to say looks quite impressive this year. It has a number of minifigures, 6 from my count, plus a LEGO Borg and a battle droid. I'll show you some more images here. There's a total piece count of 311 pieces and a price point of 30 euros, and it's slated to come out at the beginning of August in Europe and apparently, according to rumor, the 1st of September in the US. This is the case for most of the sets that we'll be looking at today, so keep that in mind. So as you can see here, these are all the different days of the Advent calendar that will be included. This one is especially interesting with Poe in a Christmas sweater with BB-8 on his Christmas sweater. It's very interesting. So moving on, we have the much anticipated 75280. The 501st Legion Clone Troopers. Now, for all of you out there who have been campaigning for a 501st Battle Pack, here it is. It's not quite a Battle Pack, but it's close enough. It comes in at 30 euros, and again, we'll be releasing on August 1st, unless you're in the US, and it'll be September 1st. This will have 285 pieces, and include a speeder, and of course, this beautiful build, along with 4 501st Clone Troopers and 2 Battle Droids. For me, this is really good value for money, considering you get 4 Clone Troopers and 2 Battle Droids for the 30 euro price point, and I'm very much looking forward to getting one of these to add to my collection. Next, we'll be moving on to 75281, which is Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. This one includes 248 pieces, is at a price point of 30 euros and includes Anakin and R2-D2. And R2-D2 will slot in nicely here into the Jedi Interceptor. But of course, this is a set which is a remake of previous sets, and to me doesn't improve enough to justify creating another one. I don't think I'll be picking this one up, and unless it's on a reasonably good sale, but for now I think this one will be one that I pass on. Maybe I'll get it in the future, but only then for the purposes of comparison's sake. Moving on, we have the 75283 Armored Assault Tank, or AAT, including 2 minifigs and 2 special battle droids. This one comes in at 286 pieces at a price point of 40 euros. Again, this will be released on August 1st unless you're in the US. I like the look of this AAT. It's, in my opinion, an upgrade on the last one of the same color scheme that they did. The Ashoka figure is obviously very cool, not quite as cool as the one from previous set, but again, this one looks very interesting. And of course, the Ahsoka Clone Trooper is very interesting and should be a very good addition to any collection. Considering the price, I think it's quite fair, but if you're choosing between this and the 501st Battle Pack, I think the 501st Battle Pack wins every time. But for those of you who are looking to pick up an Ahsoka minifig that's not from the Clone Wars, this is a really good one to get started. Now we'll move on to set 75293. This is the Resistance ITS Transport. Now this one's based on an attraction from Galaxy's Edge, which I admit I'm not too familiar with. It comes in at 932 pieces at a price point of 100 euros and also will be released on August 1st unless you're in the US. This one has 2 minifigs and 2 droid builds, none of these characters are characters that I'm particularly familiar with, but they do have interesting looks, and of course the Mon Calamari is always a nice addition to any minifig collection. The set itself, or the build itself, looks a bit bulky in my opinion. It's not something I'd be particularly interested in picking up. It has elements of Tantum 5, but not quite the sleekness of that ship. I don't really know to whom this build in particular will appeal, apart from those who have actually been to Galaxy's Edge and are familiar with the attraction. Maybe I'll need to do a bit more research on the attraction itself to get myself interested in this set, but for now this is not one that I'll be picking up. Next we'll move on to the 75284 Knights of Ren transport ship. This is one that's been quite highly anticipated. It's coming in at 595 pieces at a price point of 70 euros. It includes Rey and the 2 remaining Knights of Ren that have not yet appeared in other sets. So for those of you who are collecting the Knights of Ren, this is a must-buy in order to complete the Knights of Ren collection. I'm sure there will be many a post on Instagram showing, you know, Kylo Ren with his knights behind him once this set comes out. The ship itself looks like a pretty good build. It doesn't seem to be lacking in any areas, although of course this could always be a much bigger build with a lot more space both inside the ship and more detailing outside the ship. But considering the price, I think this is a very good build and one that I will definitely consider picking up. I wouldn't necessarily be doing it for the Knights of Ren, but the ship itself is a very nice sleek design and I think looks very nice next to Kylo Ren's ship and other builds such as Director Krennic's shuttle. So I think for display purposes this might be a really nice set, and even for play purposes I think if you do have all those Knights of Ren, it'll be a very nice play set to include with the rest of your collection. We'll move on now to set 75286 General Grievous Starfighter. This one comes at 487 pieces with a price point of 80 euros. It has the various minifigures including Kenobi and of course General Grievous and this clone trooper. So what to say about this set? It's expensive and I don't think I'll be picking this one up, not now or in the future, even if there is a steep discount. I already own a General Grievous Starfighter and I don't see this as being much of an improvement, to be honest. It's just not that nice. It's not that sleek. It's quite bulky on the wings. There is not many perspectives at which I feel like this presents itself very nicely. I'm not very interested in the way this looks. It's just really not my kind of build. I mean, this minifigure looks very nice, but again is not something that would entice me enough to get this set. So I think this is one that I'll be missing out on. Others have also commented on the Obi-Wan minifig being used from the Battle at Mustafar, which obviously seems to be an unnecessary reuse of this minifig and one that doesn't necessarily apply to the context of this set, and considering the price, that also seems like a mistake on LEGO's part. So for me, this is one I'm not going to be picking up. Next, we'll move on to the set 75288 AT-AT, which was one of the first that was announced of the summer wave. This one will have 1,267 pieces and comes in at a price point of 159.99 euros or 160. It has plenty of minifigs, as you can see. It has a total of 6 minifigs, and of course the AT-AT build and some side builds. This one looks really nice. I think if you don't own an AT-AT, it's a good one to be picking up. The price is not too ridiculous. I think I will definitely be waiting until this one's on sale, but it is one that I am definitely strongly considering picking up. I think this is one that, you know, has very beautiful box art. If you are someone who likes to collect the boxes, that's definitely a big plus. The minifigs are also interesting, although there's a bit of repetition with some on the Imperial side with a couple duplicated minifigs. I think there's a nice few play features which people will be excited to use, but it feels like this could have been the time to maybe include a snow speeder or something of the sort and really capture the whole Hoth battle in one set rather than not including it, and now you have an AT-AT without there being a snow speeder on the market right now. It's the kind of thing where LEGO might be missing out, and I know that there was a snow speeder last year as part of the anniversary sets, but still I think they could have either released this last year or released the snow speeder this year and had two sets that are very well matched on the market at the same time. So we'll move on to the set 75291, Death Star Final Duel. This is a remake, or however you want to put it, of an earlier set. It comes out at 775 pieces with a price point of just under 100 euros. This one has a good collection of minifigures, 5 minifigures, including, of course, Luke, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. It's a very nice build with the scene of the Emperor's throne room in the Death Star, of course, nicely depicted, although this is very much a playset rather than a display piece. Personally, I'm more inclined towards display pieces, and for me this is a set that's hard to display. I don't think I'll be picking this one up for that reason. It's also why I don't own the original set. The minifigs in themselves are not unique enough for me to think I'd consider picking up this set, and I think to make this worthy of the almost 100 euros you'd have to spend on it, I would like to see it be more of a playset, have more play features, and right now it doesn't seem like there are very many play features on this. I would assume that these doors open somehow, and that there's some mechanism in place for that. There are likely some other things that are not yet clear, but for now I think this is one that I'll not be picking up, and it's unfortunate because it has a lot of potential to be a really nice playset if it was more intensive in the design. Either way, I think if you do collect LEGO Star Wars for the play features, this is a great set to pick up. Whether it's worth the 100 euro price tag for 775 pieces, I'll leave that up to you to decide. Next, we're moving on to the much anticipated brickheads this summer, the Mandalorian and the Child. This is set 75317 and comes in at 295 pieces for 20 euros. Honestly, I think these are two of the better brick heads that I've seen for LEGO Star Wars. Especially the Child is looking very adorable with the little hands and the way he comes in his floating crib. I think together these two will look very good on display, especially next to all the other brick heads. The Child is of course a very unique build when it comes to brick heads, whereas the Mandalorian is very standard in its build approach for what brick heads tend to look like, although I do find it very interesting that he has his rifle on his back, which makes it look very unique in this sense. I think these two are, well, this one set is one that I'll definitely be picking up as soon as it comes out on August 1st, and I'm very much looking forward to adding this to my collection. So, next and penultimately, we have the 75292, the Razor Crest, which has of course, another Mandalorian TV show based set. This is, for those of you who don't know, the main ship used in The Mandalorian. This has 1,023 pieces and will come in at $130 or 130 euros. And I'm very excited by this one. This one doesn't come out until September 1st, at least in Europe, and I think it's the same in the US. Of course, what many people are also excited about is the Baby Yoda minifigure. The Mandalorian fig has already appeared in previous sets, so that one is not unique in this set, so it's not the one I'm particularly interested in. For me, the Baby Yoda minifig is one of the big draws to the set, seeing as it doesn't appear in any other sets. We also have two other minifigs, and of course the IGA-8, which was very prominent in the show as well. I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on this set, although again I might wait until it is discounted slightly, because for me the €130 price tag is maybe a little more than I'm willing to pay at this time, but I am definitely looking forward to adding this one to my collection. And then finally, we actually have a rumored set. It is the 75318, and it is rumored to be a build of Baby Yoda, or in this case referred to as the child. We don't really know much about this, although it will be similar to the Yoda build that was released early or at the end of 2019, which I own, and I have to say is one of my favorite builds and a very unique type of build. So if it even comes close to something of that quality, especially around the price point that one was, considering that was almost 2,000 pieces for around €100, I will definitely be picking this up. I'm very much looking forward to it if this turns out to be true. And that will be all for the summer 2020 LEGO Star Wars releases. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe, leave a like, comment if you have any feedback, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!